Your Harry Potter ebooks are in danger of disappearing for good unless you do this. Hey everyone, this is Kevin the Entrepreneur. Welcome to my media channel, and we're going to talk about ebooks. I know we don't talk about ebooks frequently. We normally talk about streaming and physical media. But the thing is, books are physical media, and ebooks, like digital movie downloads and MP3 downloads that you purchase from stores, have these insane DRM management tools, digital rights managements, that can become really intrusive and inconvenient. And right now, there is a danger of you potentially losing your Harry Potter ebooks, and you're not going to lose them because J.K. Rowling is canceled. We're not going to get into that here, but basically she's canceled, but she's not canceled, and that's all we'll say about it. But if you bought your Harry Potter books from Pottermore, you need to act fast, because come January 31st, you will lose access to these books. However, before we talk about any of that, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel. We upload a few times a week. We talk about physical media, streaming, digital rights management, all that stuff, and I thank you for doing so. But let's get to this main story. So, for the record, if you bought your Harry Potter ebooks on Amazon or Barnes & Noble or Kobo or Google Books, this might not apply to you right now. This is specifically if you bought your books from Pottermore. Now, what is Pottermore? Well, Pottermore was a website that was advertised as a new way to read the books. It was basically you read the books on the internet, and it was an interactive way of reading them. I love these books. I read the whole series once every 2 years, I believe. I tried Pottermore. I didn't even make it through the first book. I mean, it was kind of interesting that you could do these side things and get information, background information on characters and things like side characters, the history of obscure teachers that are referenced and things like that. I mean, that was kind of cool, don't get me wrong, but it was not my preferred way to read the books. But Pottermore had a second big advantage that got people to visit the site, and that was that for a while, that was the only place you could buy the ebooks of Harry Potter. Like J.K. Rowling, like shrewd businesswoman J.K. Rowling, she basically cut Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and all these sites out of the loop. She did not share any of the money with them. Now, at some point, Amazon and Barnes & Noble did start pushing people towards Pottermore, and they would get a little bit of a commission. And even more recently, the Harry Potter books have finally been kind of opened up to ebook stores everywhere, where you don't need to go through Pottermore to get them. And since the exclusivity of the ebooks was what kept Pottermore alive, basically there's no more reason for them to be exclusive now. I don't know why they're taking them down completely. I don't think Pottermore is going anywhere, but don't quote me on that one. But if you go to the website now, you get this notice right here that says, "Hello, the Pottermore shop stopped selling ebooks and audiobooks in September last year, and we will soon deactivate the Pottermore bookshelf. This means that your digital books from Pottermore will no longer be available to download after the 31st of January. If you haven't already, please download and save your books before the date." And that's all she wrote, as they say. And this comes back to why I tell people you really got to be careful when you buy your digital media, because it's not yours. It is, connected to the site that you buy it. Now, what would have happened if Pottermore had just decided to just take down the store and not even give everyone a warning, and you hadn't re-downloaded your books? Well, I know that the books cost about $100 to buy as ebooks when the site launched, maybe a little bit more. You would have basically given J.K. Rowling $100, and you'd have nothing to show for it. Now, I'm happy that they're giving you a chance to re-download your books, but again, it kind of goes to show they're not yours. If you don't have them saved, if you don't have them backed up, and the site goes away, you will lose these books. Now, some people might say, well, that's why I buy from Amazon or Barnes & Noble, or I buy from Google. Like, I don't want them to go away. But, what if they do? I mean, what if they do? Like, what if one day Amazon decides that the Kindle is a drain on their resources and they don't want to host your books anymore? That seems very unlikely. But you know what's more likely? Google doing that. Google arbitrarily kills off projects and stores all the time. What if one day they decide, we've made like a 4% dent in the ebook market. People are going to Amazon and Barnes & Noble way more than they're going to us for ebooks. Let's just shut down the ebook store, and that will be it. Well then, unless you have those books downloaded and saved somewhere, you will lose them. And then what happens if you have them backed up and saved, and yet you have a hard drive crash? Then you lose the books. I mean, the digital ecosystem, like, I am so conflicted about digital. I know it is better for the environment. I know space-wise it's a much better convenience. Heck, I am actually purging my physical media collection, and even I've gotten rid of a lot of books because they're just taking up way too much space. But you know what? At least I could get rid of them and I could sell them for something. I could get something back, even if it's just a couple dollars here and there. But if these books are digital and I download on my old Nook and that Nook fries and I have to get a new Nook and there's nowhere to re-download them from, well, guess what? I've just lost those books. I have just lost those books, and that's what's happening here. Now, is this going to be a big enough deal to get people to reassess their relationship with ebooks? Probably not, if I'm being perfectly honest. I don't think anyone's really going to notice. But that said, it could happen, and you should just be well aware of it. So anyway, that's where we are going to end this discussion. What do you think? Do you buy Harry Potter books on Pottermore? What do you make of this news? And do you have them backed up? And as a result of this, are you going to keep your paperbacks, or are you one of those J.K. Rowling's canceled, so I got rid of the books, they don't mean anything to me anymore? You're allowed to share that opinion too, even if I personally disagree with it. But anyway, I'd love to know. Comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe, and as always, flame responsibly. Always make sure to back up your stuff.